All right, here's hoping this can be heard. My hands are freezing. Let me fix my display a little bit. Why I can hear myself, I don't know. All right. So here are the two I'm going to choose for this little challenge. I was so excited to see that more than one came in. I thought that maybe somebody would toss something in the chat, but last I checked, there were like 13 of them. So I've kind of got these two. I think that these are amazing for a couple different reasons. There were so many though that I kind of want to go over them real quick because I'm going to save some of these for another time. Hey, if you guys are on stream, my multi-stream is kind of messed up, so I'll bounce back and forth between them because this is on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you put something in there, tell me about the volume of my music, the volume if it's good, the volume of my voice if it's good, because I'm still dialing all this in. All right, so let me pull this over.
Dad,
yes?
for some reason your video is non-viewable on restricted mode.
It's on restricted mode?
Or it's non-viewable on restricted mode.
Why are you on restricted mode? Sounds like
It's been turned on.
Go ask Maddie to check it out. If you please, if you please. Okay. Let me find this. I can click on just one of these bazillion comments because I was trying to get to them all. There were some really, really fun ones. Like, oh my gosh, this thing. See how many there are? Okay, so like this guy. He reminds me, I even posted in here that he reminds me of a Piasaw bird that I saw painted on a huge rock cliff down in southern Illinois. Maybe it's northern Missouri. I forget, but it's a giant kind of very colorful bird-like dragon thing. So, I mean, this is definitely going in the hopper. I need to save these kind of things. I mentioned that this one kind of looked like a rocket man. I see there are arms there, but I don't care. I like to see the rocket man. Amazing cats. This here is a little character that I guess he draws a lot. So that's fun. I love the eyes. I love the mask. Some of these things, the way they're made out of paper and drawn on, interesting. I love it. I didn't see that coming. This one's definitely going to be in the very next stream, possibly later on today. I have somebody checking out. Why is it saying it's restricted?
Because I don't know. Because maybe in the restricted mode's like, well, we don't know what the video's gonna say yet, so let's just block it.
I wonder why you're restricted. Because this should be family friendly.
I
I was gonna say, do you mark it specifically as family friendly? You might want to do that.
I have to mark it specifically as made for kids if I do it that way.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Oh, not made for kids.
Specifically made for kids. So we're having issues with that. If you've got a restricted mode on, you're not going to be able to watch it. You're going to have to go find an adult and watch through their login, which is unfortunate. But I can't be changing the stream now. But it'll be fun.
Your thing is bumped
My thing is bumped.
behind you.
Oh, thank you. Fixing art on the wall. Okay, so other amazing creations. If you like Doctor Who, you'll love this Dalek looking thing. Also, I'm saving this off to the side because I see an immense robot in here. I said that I was giving extra points for things that look like monsters and things that look like robots, and so I've actually chosen to have monsters and robots in the same thing. So this is incredible. Sunny did this piece up here, which is just a lot of work. Pen and ink work, and I think it's pen and ink. Pretty detailed. I love this one with the feathers on its head. I haven't decided about one of these. I have like a ton of little monsters I can choose from here. This guy with the wings, that's amazing. Just grumpy. And then I've also chosen this. Okay, I believe this is Xander's work. I'm choosing this one because it reminds me of a character I created at one point and I started writing a comic of. And I kind of want to meld the ideas. So I'm going to have this robot, who's immense and huge. You can tell because there's like stomping on trees and he's like stepping over mountains. So you can tell he's huge, and then I'm going to pick one of these to be massive. Is that like a brain sticking out of its head? Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, I have a lot to choose from. So let's get sorted out. I've got this stupid glove thing that I have to wear, otherwise my hand sticks to the tablet. All right, let's. You sound as good, so does the music. The llama is amazing. I know, the llama is amazing. That's why it's going in the very next video, and I can't determine whether or not I'm going to make it a monster or a robot, because I think that all that hair that's drawn on him could be made into like plates of steel. I think it would be amazing. Okay. So I got to get set up on a whole new layer. I'm going to lock these so I don't screw them up while I'm working. Da, da, da. I have a remote that I'm going to try and use. Anyway, this is the first time I've tried this as far as like just putting out the call. But yesterday I did a stream for a young person who has their art being submitted for a magazine. And so I thought it would be fun to do it. That's kind of where I got the idea, kind of where I started this idea in my brain. So yeah, if you look at yesterday's stream, it's actually has to do with a magazine, a STEM magazine. So if you know what STEM is, it's science, technology, engineering, and math. And the magazine is called STEM to Bloom. So it's all about, think like a highlights magazine, but smarter, I think is what I wound up putting on the description. I'm going to choose... Okay, let's start with the robot, because I have too many monsters to choose from. So I'm going to start with the robot, and maybe I'll be able to make a decision on the monster in a second. So I'm going to start with like a silhouette, because I always kind of try and do that. Just feel out kind of the main pose that I want it to do. And I want it to be like raw, stepping over and hand overhead, like maybe it's going to try and maybe it's going to toss something or it's going to punch something overhead. So if I am twisting, I'm going to have leg, and I draw really quick to begin with. Otherwise, you start thinking too much. Yeah, maybe I'm going to be throwing a big tree, like he's got a sequoia tree, one of those big redwood type of things. His arms like this, and he's going to try to either hit him or kind of, conk him with it, or he's going to throw it at him. So, but he's got this roundish head, which I can dig. Yeah, the body, he kind of looks a lot like a human's proportions. I'm going to make his legs really, like he has huge feet in this drawing. Like those are immense. So I'm going to make his whole lower leg bigger. Kind of taking the cue from Xander's work. And he's going to have one arm up, kind of protecting himself as he swings overhead. These monsters are so dreamlike and spooky. I kind of want him to be this middle guy with the crazy exposed head thing. Let's do it. He's very kind of opposite of the robot we're choosing. So let's make him actually bigger. I'm a huge fan of monsters and robots. It's like I have this giant robot behind me. It's Voltron. And he's like one of my favorite examples of a giant monster ever. I'm gonna make him kind of like ready for the impact, and he's gonna be very bottom heavy. Here we go. He's got like crazy spindly, like, what is that, tentacly arms. Ooh, it's even better. Okay, yesterday the piece that I did actually involved a tentacly monster type thing, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with what Justin and I were able to accomplish on that. All right, he's ready, and nope, I want it to be, he's gonna conk him. I'm gonna put like a train. He's holding, I'm gonna erase this. Boy, my eraser is dinky. Let's do E, boom, 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 boom. Okay. I want to make him like swinging overhead with like this train or a bus or something, and he's stepping much the same. So let's make like a mountain range that they're going to be stepping over, kind of taking those cues from Xander's work. A little city. We're not going to get too detailed with that because we want to get this done in. The goal is to get it done in less than an hour. Let's check something real quick. If I can get it done in less than an hour, I'll be pretty happy. I would be actually pretty shocked. This is going to be decently detailed. So let's back out. And what I do oftentimes, undo, is I make the drawing really sloppy like that and really small. And then I start to make it bigger. So I'll turn it bigger and I'll make it like very transparent. So now I can draw over it with a new layer and add new detail. And every time I do this, it'll get more and more detailed, and it tends working out. It tends to work out with my process. So I'm gonna switch to a pencil, not a pen, and this guy that Xander designed has like a human-like torso. So if you draw things in beans, you can really, this can be a torso really quickly. So I'm going to draw a human-like being. Even though it's a robot, it's going to have curves. And then you always, when you have these big robots, you have robot britches. They have like, I don't know how else to say it. So let's draft him out almost like he's just a straight up human, but he's going to have big hands, big, huge, meaty hands with which he can grab trees and or whatever the heck he's going to hit with. I don't even know yet. I'll know it when I see it. Big, huge hand here, meaty fist. And let's see. If he's going to have this arm up, I like to make the opposite leg moving forward. Kind of like you're running. If you think about how you run, you don't run with your arms and legs moving in the same direction. They switch. And so if he's running at him, he goes up in the air, he's going to lead with his other leg. So let's make a big leg, stompy foot right there. Yeah. And then this one will be kind of sort of hidden by the mountain range that he's stepping over. He has a roundish kind of cylindrical head. So I'm not going to make him like my old design. I almost started running right into my old design for Big Hero 6 that I was working on. Or Big 57. Why did I say Big Hero 6? That's an actual movie, and I can't take credit for it. Anyway, this guy, Xander, put like an antenna array on his head. So I'm going to make like, I'm going to try and do that justice here with something. But he's got like some crazy eye beams that I think could be really cool to make shining out as he's running toward him. I think that'll work. Ooh, let's save this. When you're working digitally, it's easy to forget to save it. So let's do monster versus robot, and we'll keep it in that folder. Why not? I'm gonna switch. At some point, the multi-stream comments will catch up, and all of a sudden I'll be just nailed with a bunch of comments, and it gets really weird. So put on these headphones so I can hear a little bit of this music. I really don't want to hear myself talking. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it plays back and I don't understand why. Okay, so monster time. So I'm gonna, if this robot is kind of strong in the top and wide in the top, think like a Dorito-shaped dude. I'm gonna make this monster like we have over here, just really kind of big. And I don't see a tail, but I really want a tail, so I'm gonna do it. Once again, look at this bean. Look at this bean that I'm drawing. Some of the people in chat were in a drawing class I did one time, and we talked about how you can draw everything as a bean, and it winds up, here's another bean, check this out. It's just a really long, thin bean. So when you're doing kind of these extra organic things, it really comes in handy. Okay, I'm going to make this arm coming out and grappling around this other arm of this robot. At some point I feel like naming them, but this is always the hardest thing to do. You create a character concept and you never quite know how to identify them. Okay, big huge mouth. He's got sunken eyes. Can't tell. What kind of teeth does he have? I'm just curious. Grotesque. You know what's going to be, in this pose, what's going to be kind of missed is the fact that we can't see in the top of his head, so I'm going to kind of exaggerate that. Alright, there's a shoulder bit. What am I going to do with his legs? This one I'm actually going to leave him wide open rather than the other way of jogging one arm opposite the other as he's running. He's actually standing waiting for this to happen. So he's able to, he's got really big stubby legs like an elephant. You know elephants can't jump? At least that's what I heard. Jeanette, thanks for showing up. This is pretty incredible, no? I love this art. So yeah, you know, obviously Sunny is more experienced. I mean, there's just really good stuff. You know what's creeping me out, but in a good way, is if you look closely, yeah, these guys are all super detailed and crazy, and I love all of their eyes and stuff. And then there's this child. Maybe a child, maybe not, but look at that hand. Oh my. So yeah, that's super intriguing. There's got to be a story in there somewhere. I don't know what it is just yet. But it might be cool if somebody would share what's going on there. I'm going to make a really tall mountain in the middle so it looks like they're really having to fight over this mountain range. Sometimes when I draw mountains and stuff, it's kind of just whatever. I scribble and then I find the actual form that's in there. Saving. Give my thing back. Alright. Let's look at this monster again. Has kind of like human pectoral muscles or ghibli flesh. I'm making it kind of like realistic sort of fat body. Yeah. And we'll make, so maybe it's just, this is the way that this dude makes a fist. I don't know. We'll reserve the spot for like something else. But here we're gonna have maybe that big tree I was talking about. And if you're swinging a tree, it's gonna bend. So we'll start by giving it an indication like this is the roots and stuff that was pulled up. So when people say, it's funny when people say, oh, I can't draw, I can't even draw stick people. It's basically how I start every drawing, is a stick person. I didn't do it with this blobby guy because it was too perfect to use you know, like a bean. Couldn't think of the word for a second. All right, big tree. This is a huge tree. That's too huge of a tree, isn't it? If the mountains are that big, how can you be using a tree that big? All of a sudden, I'm self-conscious about the size of that tree.
Redwoods.
So it would have to be a redwood. It would have to be the biggest redwood, according to the size of these mountains. So I'm going to make...
Maybe they're small mountains.
I don't know, it kind of looks like
redwood.
a big mountain. All right, I'm going to make it a much smaller tree. Still huge. Still like leaves and stuff falling off it as he swings it. Switch over to YouTube stream. If you've got Facebook open, somebody just type something so I can see that it's coming through on the multi-stream. I don't want to miss what's going on. Sometimes it gets wonky. All right. Yeah, we'll make it so he's grappling him. Now we do the little thing where I merge the layer down. Let's back out a little bit. I have to set up my remote to do things like transform so I don't have to reach for my keyboard so much. Alright, we're getting there. This is, now we can add, now that it's bigger, we can add more detail. Tyler, Thanks for following, Tyler. Oh my gosh. It's a celebrity. Taylor, we're totally going to try and tune in later on to your Instagram feed because I've never actually seen a live Instagram, so I'm intrigued for the youth in our church. Let's see. All right, let me do a little bit more. I'm kind of ignoring the cylindrical nature of this guy's head, so I'm actually going to zoom way in and try and deal with that because when I look at this, I see that it's kind of like a cylinder. So if you use these kind of ellipses like this, you can make a cylinder. It's got to taper just a little bit more though, so I don't like the way I did that. But we got to kind of move fast because we got to get done within the hour. Let me see his eyes again. Ooh, he's got like, you still got to set these in the same kind of ellipse there. So as they go around the side of his head, one eye is going to disappear a little bit. All right, we're going to give him that kind of mask look. Oh yeah, see, he made the stream. Hey Beth, I think I always call you Beth, but I see Elizabeth, and so I don't know why I had that in my head. I will try and remember to be more conscious that it's Elizabeth. All right, there's some kind of antennas and stuff on the top of his head. I'm gonna try and go a little bit more Gundam with this. A Gundam is a kind of mecha robot that I really kind of enjoy the look of. So the head will have like little spikes that come off it. Those are actually antenna. Let's put the neck thing kind of attaches inside of here. Yeah, big round balls for the shoulders. We're gonna do joints like this on him, and it'll feel a lot like let's do a cylinder. Let's see, a cylinder that's cut off at an angle here. So because we want to make like this inner bit disappearing, this is kind of like your spine that the body would go around on. Oh yeah, how you doing, Michael? Thanks for stopping by. There are so many entries, and I particularly love some of the character of yours. I wish I could address them all. I'm going to talk about all of them. I'm going to go in and comment on them, talk about what I love about them, because there isn't one that I didn't love that got submitted today. I don't want to call them entries. This is more of a collaboration. Yeah, I think that this is working. I think that I'm giving him enough structure to where I could actually build him. Let's make his hips. His hips are going to be like the metal underwear that you see on a lot of robots. That gives it this kind of shape. Them kind of robot britches. Yeah, I feel like I could build this guy. Okay, so let's make the leg bone, not really a bone, come out of the side of this, like this round joint. Okay, I can dig that. So the top part of his leg is going to be a thin kind of cylinder like his arms, but then it's going to get very big stompy feet. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the knee there. Yeah. I feel like these are old. If you're old like me, there used to be these really cool robots. I had toys of them called Shogun Warriors. I think they're called Shogun Warriors. And the Brave Raideen one that I had these huge stompy feet like this. I actually felt a lot the same.
I can.
So let's make this one he's stepping through. This is the back of his leg right here. I am doing well. This helps. This kind of like a diversion? Not a diversion. This is something that I can focus on. A diversion is something that you can distract yourself with. This is more something I can focus on and work with the prompts that these guys have given me. Xander, This is amazing. I'm going to switch over to the monster real quick. Now, this monster has eyes that are sunken in, but still reptilian. So I'm going to do that kind of mean over the eye look and make him sort of sunken in. Just make a few lines now. Hard to make them look like they're looking forward.
Yep.
Oh, you have a mattress. What you can't see over there is my kids are moving a mattress into the house. Super glad. I don't actually know why I'm super glad. Let's look back at the face. I've already forgotten. No nose, really. Just nose holes. Oh, you know what I didn't notice before? This big eyebrow that it has spikes. And I'm really going to play up the spikes. Spikes on the eyebrow. Yeah. So kind of a snout. This is where the lack of nostrils, their lack of nose goes. It's just basically nostrils. We'll do spike like it's poking over the other side. That's from the other eyebrow. You can't see the other ones because they've disappeared on the other side of the head. Sometimes it's hard to think of it that way, but here's a really big grimacy look that this thing has. Yeah. All right. And then I'm just gonna make like an indication of the like that brain coming out of the top. Maybe this was experimented on. Maybe this was an innocent. Oh, hi. Come over this way. Come here, come here, come here. You can see if you can see yourself right there. That's Obi. He's an artist too, but I'm not doing his stuff. No. Not right now. Go. I love you. Okay, I've already forgotten what the teeth look like. They are gnarly and stone-like. And I don't want to mess up the way this mouth does this kind of terrifying stretchy bit back here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Alright, big stone-like chompers. Sometimes I make faces when I draw a thing to help me. I don't know. This is how I'm going to stay amused for a while. I'll do a couple of these streams. Really fun. Look back at it. I keep having to look back. Wow, this thing is drippy too. Has a real kind of... Oh man, this is an ugly beast. I imagine it's meant to be though. Okay. Let's pay attention to the body on this thing and what it should be doing. Kind of the pectoral muscles. And I don't want to give its arms too much human-like quality, you know, like that lump here and the thing back here, because it's a monster, first off, but I got to make it somewhat believable. And these are tentacles, but I'm still going to give him kind of an elbow there, just to help us relate a little bit. Not that I'm dying to relate to... Yeah, I'm going to make it look like he's just going to try and smash him. He's balled up his tentacle, and he's just going to bop him. But I have to come to grips with the fact that you put suckers on these things, didn't you? Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, good grief. Okay. Gotta make it hard. Let's make it like this. So it, like, goes up along here. So this is the part that has the suckers on it. And, that should make it sufficiently difficult. I think we'll see more of that on this arm. So we'll start this tentacle arm. I might have to make it wrapping around a little bit bigger. Oop, I don't like the way I did that. I think I was talking yesterday about how, you know, drawing tentacles. I don't know why, but I get sort of picky about my line quality. Normally, I don't really care. I like being haphazard and painterly, but I get a little. Ooh, we want to zoom, not scroll. Yeah, I like this. I get sufficiently picky when it comes to the size and the relative tapering. You know, the way they taper, start out thick, end up a little bit more thin. All right, nasty. He's scary. I don't see having scales on this guy. It's all kind of sort of dripping. Make it like viscous dripping. Knees. I mean, I imagine we're not really seeing a lot of its feet because it's behind this mountain range. You know, so I'm gonna put this foot in front of it. But I really wanted to make it look like it was an elephant type foot. So elephants have weird toes. I'm just gonna give him like 3 toes, maybe? I don't know. This is the first weird drippy monster I've drawn like this. No scales. Look like scars or something on its arm. I'm gonna let that be. I'm just gonna like, yeah, the mountain. Okay, let's go back to this guy. Gonna zoom in a little bit. Huge hands. This current comic that I'm drawing, I have a character in it called Strongest who has enormous hands too. And I think it's cool to draw them because you can fit anything into the hand of something with, you know, big, huge, mighty mitts. So it's kind of cool to draw her. She fights with massive weapons that are made from like huge logs, and the end of them is bells, and she, you know, swings them around. I just thought that was an interesting kind of weapon feel. Bells on the end of massive poles. 2 of them. Anyway, I like her. She's one of my favorite characters. Probably my favorite character in the comic I'm working on. That I may finish someday. At one point I was going to try and get it all done in 1 month. Oop. That didn't work out. Yeah, he's got big hands, but he's got 5 fingers. You can't really see the number of fingers that I have yet. You know what, Xander? I may reduce the number of fingers because robots don't really need all the fingers.
Don't really fingers.
They don't need all the fingers. Let me look.
They need fingers.
Huh?
They need fingers.
All of the fingers?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. You can't see this guy. See, I have robots everywhere. He has 5 fingers. Okay, here we go.
5 fingers is useful.
I'm gonna try and do 5 fingers and make it look good. They have to be square though. My daughter was talking. She's an artist too. Look, come here. She has a Voltron shirt, so you can see Voltron.
Where's
right there. Voltron is a big robot. Big robots are everywhere.
Big robot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of robots.
Look at this piece. Maddie's training to be an artist. Teacher, rather. You are already an artist. You're going to be a teacher of artists. Look at this piece. The guy.
I am obsessed. I've been watching your stream.
Oh, you have been watching the stream.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for watching the stream.
So much. Everything about it is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the rat. It's Year of the Rat, so like heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
This little fella. Oh my god.
I know, the little kind of dragon guy.
Also, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah, he's a droopy, scary, pachyderm looking thing. There's a lot to unpack here, guys.
There's a lot to unpack.
Unpack it there? Go away. I love you. No, you can sit there. You can stay.